going from a normal college student to being worth nearly $100 million in just a few years. That's exactly what happened to this guy, Victor Cardenas, who dropped out of college, raised tens of millions of dollars for his company Slash, then almost lost it all because of Kanye West. It's an insane story, and today we walk around the heart of San Francisco with him to learn it all.
And it starts here at this big iron door. It's like a safe. What's up, man?
How's it going, man?
Crazy door. You must be
Good
hiding
to
some
see you.
secrets in here.
I know, man. gotta keep him locked. Welcome in, first floor.
This is the office.
This is the office. This is where the magic happens.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about you and the company.
I'm Victor, one of the founders of Slash. Slash is a digital banking platform for internet entrepreneurs. Over 3,000 businesses spend over $5 billion a year using our corporate credit cards.
And then how much is the company worth today?
The company is worth $370 million right now.
That's insane. How old are you?
And I'm 24.
Okay, we're gonna learn all about that later on how we got here. But speaking of getting here, that didn't start here, did it? The company didn't start here.
No, definitely not. Out of a college dorm room. Out of the movies type. It was fun. I went to Stanford. My co-founder Kevin went to Waterloo, and we started during COVID, but built a lot of the early business in Palo Alto, close to the Stanford campus.
Cool. Okay, and speaking of Stanford, we're gonna head there right now.
Yeah, let's go.
Hello there, my name's Victor and I'm a Stanford CS student.
Stanford campus.
Right here.
This is where Slash was born.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me ask you, how similar was the birth of Slash to the movie The Social Network?
Not very similar in that we didn't really sell to college students, but I did watch that movie a lot growing up. I think that movie spawned a lot of startup founders and made a lot of people want to work in tech. I was definitely among those.
Okay, and speaking of growing up, for you, man, what was growing up like?
I'm from Caracas, Venezuela. My parents were not rich tech moguls, though I did have a decently privileged upbringing. I had the pleasure of going to an international school, learning English, even though I grew up for the first 18 years of my life abroad.
And then as a kid, I don't know, man, were you like selling lemonade on the corner of the street? Were you like slinging shoes when you were that young? What qualities did you have growing up before you got here?
My dad's a business owner. My grandpa was a business owner before him, so I always knew I really wanted to start a business. That's why I decided to come here to Stanford, because the biggest businesses in the world get started here.
Slash started where? Here, right? Like in the buildings?
Didn't actually start here proper. It was COVID, convinced my co-founder Kevin to come live with me there. I was a student at the time, but it was all virtual. After we went through the startup accelerator, Y Combinator, and raised our first, our seed round, dropped out of school. But yeah, we lived in that house for like about a year. And that was very much the Social Network type vibe.
Super
where we would host like these parties, and like it was our house and our office. We would work 24/7, write code 24/7, and then host Stanford parties on the weekend.
Oh, when you were here though, when you were like still in college, you said you dropped out, so you didn't graduate.
I didn't graduate.
And you went through Y Combinator while you were going to Stanford.
After my sophomore year. So I finished my sophomore year and then got into Y Combinator, the startup accelerator. I knew when I got in that I was gonna drop out and work on this business full time, because we just had so much traction. And I think there's something important about when you're raising money from other people, you have a fiduciary responsibility to them to like make their capital grow. It's like, if you're making an investment in me, I'm gonna give you my commitment that I'm gonna give it my all. For the last 5.5 years, like I've been very one-track minded, which is like, how do I grow Slash specifically? It's like, I'm working on this business, like how do I grow it? And that's like what like my entrepreneurial mind has been darting to. But a lot of it before was just like, I kept this long Google Doc of like my business ideas. These are all the things that I could potentially be starting. And so I was always thinking about that, trying to connect with other students that wanted to start businesses and trying to see how early I could get that into starting my own company. And so I think I did spend a lot of time at Stanford doing that stuff.
Did you ever have an experience where you were like coding in class?
No, so I'm actually the non-technical co-founder. My co-founder is the technical one. Like at the very beginning, I did write some code, but very quickly after he joined me, he like basically rewrote everything I'd made because it was so shitty compared to what he could do.
What'd you major in here?
Oh, computer science.
Oh, okay.
But he's just so much better than me that like it just didn't make sense. By the way, like I think like Stanford students are actually pretty overrated, dude. The best like engineers that we've hired.
Like 100 walking at us right now.
I know, bro. The best engineers that we've hired are all people that have proven that they've built something valuable in the past. And like so many people that come to Stanford have my profile, which is like, they're like just like some generally smart guy. And then you want to get into tech, but like, it doesn't mean you like get building and like have the passion for writing code that somebody else with more of a software engineering background does. I literally came of age during COVID, bro. Before, I was like this kid, I was way skinnier, big nose. I mean, I still have the same big nose, but my face grew. And then afterwards, it was like no longer a student, like running my business. But yeah, dude, it felt like a before and after.
Okay, so the house that the company was like kind of built out is nearby.
Nearby.
Can we go see it?
Yes, sir, let's go.
Okay.
Check it out. All right.
This your house?
No, dude, they're still remodeling it, bro.
This is it?
Wow, they completely changed it, bro.
There's a dinosaur.
It looks literally nothing like it was like before.
Dude, that's crazy. Was the dinosaur there when you guys were there?
No. Bro, look. 916 Hermosa, bro. This is where we lived.
Right there.
House looks completely different. It was so ugly, a shock. I like what they did with the place. I think it'd be a very full circle moment if we rent this again at some point.
How many weekends did you guys throw a party in those 8 months? Like, was it degenerate?
No. It was not that bad. It was like we threw like 3 or 4 parties, and I think if you meet people that went to Stanford and were a class of 23 to 25, they'll say that we hosted really good parties at this house. School is like a very valuable time in your life. It's a great way to meet amazing people, to learn about amazing concepts. It's an amazing place to grow as a person, mature a little bit before you enter the workforce. And so don't give that up to spend 2 or 3 years basically like swinging and missing, because you could just have spent 2 to 3 years swinging and missing after you graduated from school. But if it's like, fuck, somebody just gave me this coaching position, I'm ready to coach, like, okay, then you can go ahead and do it. But afterwards, yeah, if you are done with school and you want to start a business, your business only dies when you give up, you know? Like, as long as you like are still willing to keep going, you do have a business. Copy something a little bit, improve it, so that as quickly as possible you're able to make that first dollar. So.
Okay, wait, pivoting back to this house.
Yeah.
So when you guys moved into this house, how big and successful was the company? You were saying you guys were like...
So I dropped out of school when we were making around $50,000 a month, and it was only my co-founder and myself, and so we were like hugely profitable. When we were living in this house, we went from doing $50,000 in revenue to $400,000 in revenue per month.
Oh my God.
And it was myself, my co-founder, and 3 engineers, and we were just ripping, like, writing code all day, bro.
Oh wait,
like,
so you guys raised your Series A from here?
Yeah.
How old were you?
We even got investors, 20, yeah.
How?
I think that's actually something under talked about. It's like right now, yeah, like 23 years old, $370 million business. Dude, I was 20 years old, and the company was worth 185 million bucks.
That's
you know?
insane.
And so like,
I want to go back on the point that you made when you said that you guys like went through some really tough times, and it sounded like you guys made some strategic decisions during that time that like not only kept you afloat, but like really held like investor confidence and like position you guys for the success that you're experiencing now. But you said that that happened at your Market Street office that you just moved out of.
Yes.
Okay. That's literally on the way back to the office. Can we go to next?
let's go.
Okay. So we've made it. All right, so we're here in like really proper San Francisco, and this is where you guys moved after the Palo Alto house. Was this office?
This office right there is Central Tower, 703 Market Street.
It's a pretty gangster place to move out of.
Pretty gangster, dude. It was 3 years. It was like a big space, 5,000 square feet. At the very beginning, we were only like 5-6 people there, so it felt very big. It took us a while to grow into it, and it was only recently that we were able to get a bigger space.
What was the feeling of moving into your first like real official office space as like a successful startup?
These things like press, a cool office. I don't know, I think we've gotten pretty good at understanding that those aren't the important things. Obviously, it feels nice to have a good space, but what matters is just the scoreboard, which is just the metrics, how much revenue, how much contribution, profit, how much actual profit they're bringing.
Okay, so when you guys moved here, shit kind of hit the fan for you guys.
Yeah.
What
Yep.
happened?
Yeah. So tough moment. We'd raised $19 million in total.
Yep.
We'd hired 30 people, and most of our customers at the time were sneaker resellers. And Kanye goes on this like anti-Semitic podcast tour. Adidas, which is the brand that powered Yeezy, which is the brand that most of our sneaker reseller customer purchased. And so many of our customers start going out of business. They stop reselling because without Yeezy, it's kind of like not worth it anymore. And so our revenue goes from 5 million to 1.5 million over the course of like 8 months after we'd made all these big promises, raised at a very high valuation because of the growth that we'd been experiencing. And it was really 2 things that allowed us to stay afloat. One is we had a great brand, and we were known by 7,000 of the most entrepreneurial young people in the country. And the second is we had a way of actually like creating bank accounts and issuing cards to our customers. So we had this infrastructure, these relationships with bank partners and card networks that's not trivial to stand up. And so we said, okay, we have these 2 things going for us. How do we leverage that to like let the business grow. And so we basically went to our customers and we're like, guys, what can we do to get you to keep banking and spending with us now that you're starting other businesses? And they're like, look, I want rewards and I want you to be able to do everything that my current bank does, because you were very built for like the necessities of my reselling business, not like this other new business that I'm starting. And so, you know, we spent a couple of years just nose to the grindstone doing just that. And thankfully, you know, we made it out on the other side much stronger. We were able to reacquire a lot of the customers that we lost, that we're now starting and managing bigger businesses, and make our product valuable to businesses outside of this one niche. And now we kind of feel like we have the right to compete against like the big banks and build a product that's used by many, many kinds of entrepreneurs, not just entrepreneurs in the sneaker reselling space.
Dude, that's crazy. Was there ever a point where like you like doubted yourself or doubted the product or like doubted like maybe this isn't the right time, or like maybe I've got to like move back into the dorm rooms and figure something new out?
Yeah, dude. I think I'm pretty good at like staying focused on what matters, but when you go from building a business that does 5 million in revenue per year to having it tank 60%, part of me was thinking like, damn, like, I guess this is, you know, how our business is gonna be over. And it was fucking tough, bro, because like the energy level of the people in the office is just entirely dependent on my energy level. And so I had to project this persona of we're gonna make it out the other side. But like there were times where like I really doubted it, and it's like I felt like almost depressed, bro. Like I remember there were like 1 or 2 times where like I literally had to go home from the office because I was so fucking exhausted mentally. Like, bro, how are we gonna make it out the other side? But thankfully the fact that we were able to stay focused on what matters got us through that. But it was definitely actually mentally really challenging, and I think it's something I haven't really talked about with almost anyone in the past.
Yeah, dude, huge. And then when things did start turning, they started turning around in here, right?
Yeah, we moved from the 15th floor to the 17th.
Oh, sick. That's great. Is there like a level of like invincibility you now feel of like we survived like the bottom of the shit barrel, like we can get through anything? Like, do you feel that?
I mean, yes. Bro, there's fucking risks to running a business, and I would fucking hate if it tanked the way it did before, but I would get through it, bro. We would get through it. We have a great team. We'd find a way, but I do not wish it on my... I do wish it on my worst enemy, but I do not wish it on myself.
Okay, so once you guys left here 3 weeks ago, you moved into a new office, which we saw earlier,
Yeah.
but we never got the full tour. And like,
Let's go. I want to give you that story.
Yeah, and I want to hear more about like what it's like running a business that is now has experienced that much life and like ups and downs, and that is now is like mad successful.
Let's do it, dude.
Okay,
Let's go.
we're off.
We're off. Just moved in, so still not in the state that we wanted to. We have this big open space. Right now we only have this central ping pong table, but we really want this to be a nice event space where we can host customers. We can host people we're thinking of hiring. Yeah, we're thinking of putting some plants here, you know, making it feel better. But this mezzanine area is more, you know, for when you want to get away from all the workstations upstairs, you kind of just like hang out here, you can do some work. This is the boardroom. And then this is the studio. This is where,
Oh, dude, sick.
editor Mason, you know, turn around the camera. Right here. Here's where he cooks.
Sweet. Wait, this is like a crazy, especially when you're throwing events here. This is gonna be so cool to be able to like, look, you're like Bruce Wayne, bro.
Dude, yeah. We want to get like a big neon slash sign here. So we have like a bunch of phone booths. Like these people are like taking meetings, interviewing people, you know, talking to some of our team members who are remote. And then there's just like the main work area.
Cool. Wait, can we see your office? Your office?
Very basic, dude. We just moved in. Look, I still have like a box with all my stuff.
The Funko Pop?
Yeah, dude. Oh, that I got like, I don't know. It was just a random gift that I got from somebody hosting a conference, but sweet. It's Victor Funko Pub. We're in what we like to call the war room. This is where we have our important meetings. When we're locked in, we want to brainstorm something. We have a whiteboard over there. We have the beautiful view of all the people that actually make the magic happen here at Slash, our wonderful team.
So you said at the beginning of the video, the company is worth around 370 million right now.
Yeah.
So what is the day-to-day for you as the CEO running a company worth 370 million?
I would say there's no day-to-day. It's more of a week-to-week. I generally think of 3 things. How to make the product better, how do we get more customers, and how do we hire the best people? So I spend my time on go-to-market, product, and hiring. And it's probably 33, 33, 33. Cool. Your business will only do as well as the caliber of the people that you hire. And so I spent so much time interviewing and asking my friends for referrals. Who are the best people that could work here?
That seems like one of the main focuses of like very successful CEOs in companies is like hiring.
It's so important. Like if you just think of like there's 45 people at the company. I'm one person. Like, I'm a very small percent of all the man hours that we have as a business. And so I need to make sure that all the other people that I hire can actually be productive and execute on things where I'm not so connected to. So it's so important. And I think I've learned to care about this more the business has grown. Before, my default was, I'm gonna brute force. I'm just gonna like get things through the finish line, but that doesn't really scale. We're serving all these different verticals. We have all these different product initiatives, all these launches that we're going on at the same time. I physically can't like keep my hands on absolutely everything. So I just need to hire amazing people that know how to execute. You learn everything along the way. Like and this is the advice I give people that come to me and they say, hey, I want to start a business. How do I know if it's the right time? How do I know if I'm ready? You're only going to learn how to build amazing product, how to like do partnerships, how to hire people, how to motivate people, like how to like truly make sure all your bases are covered in the business, all the things that are important as an entrepreneur if you're actually like running your business. And so I think I've just been drinking from the fire hose for 5.5 years, and all that time of working on this company to this day is kind of what's equipped me to be able to make the highest level decisions now. There's something very fulfilling about being a part of the canon of American business. I want Slash to be a publicly traded company one day. That's just a dream of mine. I think there's something very fulfilling about building software that impacts the lives of thousands of people just like me. And I also want to make a lot of money, dude. Like, I think a lot of people no smarter than you or I have built very, very big businesses. So why not give it a shot?
How hard should someone expect to work to achieve what you've been able to achieve by your age and in the last 5 years?
I think Slash has gotten very far, but I don't think I've made it yet. We have a long journey ahead for this to like actually be economically very fruitful for myself and all of the people involved. But then too, yes, I acknowledge Slash has gotten quite far, and I think luck has played an important role. But to your point about like working hard, well, it's fucking competitive out there, bro. Like the profit motive, this idea of I want to get rich is universal. Literally every single person alive, by definition, wants to make as much money as possible. So any market you go into, there's going to be people that are like busting their balls. If you want to win, you have to be better than them. And sure, maybe you can be very efficient with your time and get away with like working very little hours. But I think if you're a young, inexperienced person, like I was when I started this business, like I am still today, like you just get your odds of success go up way more if you're working many more hours, because the time to figure things out and fail repeatedly is much shorter.
Hell yeah. When it comes to Slash, over the next 12 months, what are you guys trying to accomplish? What are you focusing on?
Continuing to grow in the markets that we're already very successful in. I want to make significant inroads to making Slash a household name. When you talk to an average entrepreneur on the street, I want them to think of like, oh, when I start my business, I need to get an LLC, get a registered agent, and then open a Slash account. Like that, it'll take a lot of work and a lot of intentional effort to get there, but I just want Slash to start being known as the default place you'd go to for business banking and corporate credit cards and payables software when you're starting out. That's like a big focus of like, how can we like really get our brand out there and go from being this like amalgamation of success in a bunch of different markets to being this like renowned business banking platform known by entrepreneurs all over the country.
Dude, that's sick. You're on a crazy route, man. Well, I appreciate you answering the questions and like showing us your walkthrough of like you and your life, man. This is crazy. Good luck on everything.
Thank you for the questions, man. Bang, let's go.
Slash.
I guess the money should have changed them. I guess I should have forget where I came from.